Wintertime fishing. What is the biggest mistake that we make in the wintertime? Believe you me, I make it often. Good morning, guys and girls. Let's change to a new month. I think I might have showed you that picture already, but there it is. Changing to a new month, the month of February. Shortest month of the year. 28 days or 29 days. This year I believe we have 28. Pretty sure we have 28 this year. I need to look that up and check it out, don't I? All right, we're looking at 1 Thessalonians 4:16 in a Catch a Better Life book. Many of you have this book. If you don't have it and you want a copy of it, you can get it from jimmyhouston.com. You can get them from Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Books A Million, Hobby Lobby, Barnes & Nobles, just about everywhere books are sold, Amazon. We have a scripture for every single day. Post these videos 5 o'clock in the morning, Central Time. We have a fishing tip for every day, and we have a devotional built around fishing. Today's scripture is, like I said, from 1 Thessalonians 4:16. The Lord Himself, we're talking about Jesus, will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God. Angels, we know, are powerful. We've talked about angels quite a bit here on these Catch a Better Life devotionals. Angels are powerful. They're strong. One time an angel killed 185,000 soldiers. Went into a big giant army camp, 185,000 warriors. Killed them all. One night. They're big, powerful people. And so they must have a big, powerful voice also, I would say. He will come with the voice of an archangel and with the trumpet of God. Here's what I wrote about that. We used to start bass tournaments with a shotgun blast. That's right. Somebody would come by riding by, everybody be lined up. Somebody come riding by with a cowboy hat, shoot a shotgun up in the air, everybody would take off. It was exciting, super exciting. Sometimes the most important thing that happened all day long. When that gun went off, 150 to 200 boats or more went roaring off in every solitary direction. Boats swamped. Boats ran together. Sometimes they shoved the throttle down so hard they broke their throttle. They couldn't even go fishing. They just had to drive around in a circle out there until they run out of gas. I've seen some crazy things happen. Let me tell you, we took off a lot back in creeks because if it was windy or something, we'd be staying out of the wind. We'd be back in a creek and maybe we had a quarter of a mile or half a mile or whatever, and we'd come to a bridge. And sometimes there was only one small area that you go through to get through that bridge. And you can imagine, in the early BASS tournaments, we had 300 fishermen. So we had 150 boats. Some tournaments had 400 or 500 people in it. Just divide that by 2, and that's how many boats you had. 500 people, 250 boats. 600 people, 300 boats. Incredible. And you can just imagine all of those boats running for one little area, or a boat lane, like on Millwood Lake had boat lanes. Everybody took off and ran about 2 miles across the lake, and they were going from one boat lane. They run to that boat lane. And then as they get further out, they get closer and closer. Of course, some of them were running relatively slow. Others were running, screaming really, really fast. Those early days, there was no limit on horsepower. We fished with BAS with 150 horsepower for a long time, but in the early days there was no horsepower limits. 250 horsepower limit now in most tournaments. Today's scripture is about a shout that is heard around the world by billions of people. Everybody in the world will hear that shout. Won't matter where you are, everybody will hear that shout. Everybody will see Jesus descend from heaven. That shout is going to bring fear and trembling to everyone. Everyone. It's going to bring fear and trembling to you and me. But that fear will quickly be replaced by the wonderful joy of those of us caught up in the clouds to meet Jesus. Think about that. Think about that for a second. Picture that in your mind. Hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions of born-again Christians leaving this earth to be with God forever in heaven. Think about that. What a sight that will be. What a sight that will be as we rise up and watch the earth slowly disappear below us. We don't know the time for this to happen. We don't know the date, don't even know the year. Imagine the scene, though, when He comes back to earth with a shout and the trumpet of God. Are you ready? Are you ready for that to happen? Could happen any minute, any day, any year. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here's our tip for the day. The biggest mistake made in the wintertime? Fishing too fast. That's right. Slow down. Slow down. Sometimes if you're slow rolling a spinnerbait, you got to turn your reel handle so slow that bait is making 1 RPM. That's slow. That's slow. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. And remember, I sure do love you.